On October 12, 2023, a convoy of 11 heavily modified heavy-duty transport trucks ground gears against the abrasive, fine-grained dust of the southern Mauritanian desert. The thermometer attached to the lead vehicle read 47 degrees Celsius, yet the engines groaned under a burden far heavier than the ambient heat. Secured beneath thick, reflective tarpaulins were massive, pressurized metal cylinders, humming with a low, vibrating frequency that resonated through the steel chassis. The crews had been told only that the cargo was fragile and time-sensitive, a high-stakes delivery to a remote coordinate where a massive trench had recently been carved into the earth. No one on the transport team knew the true nature of the cargo, nor could they foresee the radical transformation this mysterious freight was about to unleash upon the barren wasteland. What transpired across that desolate landscape over the subsequent 36 months was something no regional planner predicted, a phenomenon that utterly stunned satellite analysts and left ecological researchers grappling for explanations. Today, the data collected from that specific coordinate remains a subject of intense discussion within the international scientific community. My name is Marcus Vance, and this is the full arc of the Great Saharan Awakening. By the time this account concludes, you will understand the precise engineering mechanics behind the 14-mile scar across the desert floor. You will see how an overlooked biological catalyst revived a dead soil network. And finally, you will comprehend how advanced orbital imagery captured an ecological resurrection previously deemed impossible by modern science. But to understand the true magnitude of this project, you must start with something entirely unexpected: the ancient, buried hydrology of the African continent. For decades, conventional wisdom dictated that the Sahara was a terminal desert, an irreversible void of shifting dunes and sterile rock. However, a groundbreaking paper published in the journal Nature Geoscience in 2015 revealed that beneath this hyper-arid surface lies a complex labyrinth of fossil aquiferous channels, remnants of a green Sahara that thrived thousands of years ago. These deep, dormant water tables represent a hidden treasury of moisture, isolated from the sun but waiting for a pathway to the surface. Furthermore, studies in the journal Science from 2018 demonstrated that desert soils possess an extraordinary abundance of dormant microbial life, specifically cyanobacteria and fungal spores, capable of surviving centuries of complete desiccation. These microorganisms act as a latent biological grid, waiting exclusively for a sustained structural change in the topography to trigger their revival. In the lexicon of restoration ecology, the desert was not dead, it was merely paralyzed, lacking a keystone species or a physical intervention to re-engineer the system. The planners of the 14-mile trench believed they could provide that physical intervention, but nobody expected what came after. The initial excavation of the trench was a monumental feat of raw human willpower and mechanical endurance. For 9 consecutive months, heavy earth movers cut a precise, wide arc through the hard-packed clay and sand of the Sahelian borderland. The channel was designed to be exactly 4 meters deep and 12 meters wide, positioned to intercept the seasonal, ephemeral flash floods that occasionally rush down from distant mountain massifs before evaporating uselessly into the sand. The engineering goal was simple: trap the fleeting water, slow its velocity, and force it to infiltrate the deeper soil layers to recharge the local water table. It was a brutal, dusty, and expensive gamble that many critics dismissed as a monumental waste of resources, predicting the trench would simply fill with blowing sand within a single season. Yet, the engineers persisted, completing the 14-mile structure just as the dry season reached its peak. The trench sat empty, a vast, hollow scar cutting through the monochromatic brown landscape, silent under the burning sun. What they found next changed everything. And here is where the story turns on a piece of pure luck. In the spring of 2024, an unprecedented, unpredicted meteorological anomaly shifted the intertropical convergence zone nearly 200 miles further north than usual. A series of torrential downpours, the heaviest recorded in the region in over 70 years, struck the highlands. Millions of gallons of water cascaded down the barren slopes, forming a raging torrent that rushed toward the lowlands. Instead of dispersing and evaporating across the desert floor, as it had done for centuries, the massive volume of water hit the 14-mile trench. The deep channel acted as a colossal break, capturing the flash flood and holding the water in place for weeks. This sudden, massive pooling allowed the moisture to seep deep into the parched earth, reaching the ancient, dormant microbial layers and the edges of the fossil aquifers. This single stroke of atmospheric fortune accelerated a process that scientists believed would take decades. The stage was set, and the moisture had penetrated the deep earth. But the biggest surprise was still to come. This environmental shift quickly intertwined with a broader, deeply human narrative. The region had long been plagued by severe desertification, forcing ancestral pastoral communities to abandon their traditional ways of life as their livestock starved and their wells dried up. This ecological collapse had created a wave of climate refugees, fracturing ancient cultures and threatening human survival across the Sahel. The 14-mile trench was not merely an engineering experiment. It became a desperate stand against the total erasure of a society. The local populations, working alongside international scientists, guarded the area with fierce dedication, realizing that their future generations depended entirely on the success of this single strip of earth. However, they faced a constant threat from illegal grazing and intense desert winds that threatened to choke the trench before the ecosystem could stabilize. The stakes could not have been higher, as failure meant the permanent death of the region. But the true miracle was already occurring beneath the surface, hidden from the human eye. 3 years after the convoy delivered its mysterious cargo, European and American environmental satellites passing over the coordinates captured the impossible. The imagery did not show a dry trench or a sand-filled ditch. Instead, orbital sensors detected a vibrant, unmistakable ribbon of emerald green cutting directly through the pale yellow expanse of the Sahara. The transformation was staggering in its scale and sensory richness. Where there had been absolute, crushing silence, the air was now filled with the hum of thousands of migratory birds and the steady buzz of insects. The 14-mile trench had become a sprawling, linear oasis. Over 12,000 acres of newly established vegetation now blanketed the banks, featuring hardy native acacia trees, deep-rooted grasses, and a thick carpet of emerald ground cover. The soil, once dry and brittle like ash, had transformed into a rich, dark loam, moist to the touch and teeming with subterranean life. The water table had risen by nearly 50 meters across a 5-mile radius, reviving long-dead community wells and bringing cool, clear water back to the surface. The silent, dead wasteland had been replaced by a loud, thriving ecosystem, a monument to what happens when human ingenuity aligns perfectly with the hidden resilience of nature. In the end, we are reminded that the desert is not an enemy to be conquered, but a forgotten canvas waiting for the correct stroke of the brush. By altering a mere 14 miles of sand, humanity did not create life. Rather, it unlocked a memory of green that the earth had carried in its heart for 10,000 years, preserving a legacy for the children who will shade themselves beneath trees that once existed only as a dream. What are your thoughts on this extraordinary Saharan transformation? If you found value in this account of ecological resilience, consider subscribing to the channel for more deep explorations of our changing planet. My name is Marcus Vance, and thank you for listening.